Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Guthrie, and I am so pleased to be here with you today. I want to say thank you so much to Claire and Jim and Colin and everyone at Mediate.com for inviting me to be a part of this wonderful conference. I was so delighted to see that they pulled together an amazing roster of experts for you. All right, so we are starting with AI powered marketing for your divorce mediation practice. Starting with what I think is the perfect place to start when you talk about using AI in your practice, because it's really the low hanging fruit, right? You can dive into using these AI tools that I know many people feel a little hesitancy around, but you're not using them in a client facing way. You're using them in a way just for your practice when you're marketing to help draw in clients, but you are using them in a way that is going to have an indirect or direct impact on your ethical obligations. So it's a great place to dive in, and it's really well suited. So let's go. So this slide, it actually makes me laugh, and it's a little bit about me, but not because honestly I like to talk about myself. I actually find it a little embarrassing, but I think this slide is a great visual representation of what AI tools can do for us. So this is a pretty busy slide. There's a lot on here. There's a lot going on. And that's because in my practice and in my professional world, I have a lot going on. I can say that I am coming out of, or I'm in the midst of, probably my most productive year ever as a professional. And that's saying something. I've been in practice for 35 years. So, in so many ways, I'm doing a variety of different things. The attorney and mediator, that's what I did for so long. And I was pretty limited. Now I'm a speaker, a trainer, a consultant, a coach, a legal technologist. I'm chairing this section of dispute resolution for the ABA, which has turned into another full time job. And then I have all these other things that I have going on. So I've got my two podcasts. So every other week, I'm putting out a different podcast. One week it's Divorce Beyond, the next week it's Make Money Mediating. I do a practice building tip of the day at least once a week, if not more. I have my book that came out that's an Amazon Kindle bestseller, Building the Practice of Your Dreams. And then I did a weekly business journal that's free on the website to go along with that. And just to keep things fun and interesting, I am writing my first book for a publisher. It's called AI Powered Professional Services. See a theme here? That'll come out by the end of the year. So a lot going on, right? You know why I'm able to do so much? Because I have fully embraced my AI friends. I use them all day, every day, and they support me in every single one of these endeavors. And they support me in marketing every single one of these endeavors. And that's why I get excited to show you all. You know, it's interesting. Colin and Jim and I just recently did the keynote for APFM's conference. And in that, Colin said that he heard someone say that AI tools were going to make us all superheroes. And I thought that was perfect because that's exactly, I hope you can all see my cape flying away here. You know, I feel like a superhero. I feel like I am getting so much more done and doing it better in a variety of different ways because I have been embracing these tools. So that's my little pitch, but we're going to dive into the actual uses for marketing. Oh, here's how you can get all the materials. They're either on my website at susaneguthrie.com, and it's just, you'll go up to the toolbar and you're going to see mediate.com-AI, or you can put that into your URL or just use the QR code. So all the materials are there, and you'll hear me reference some others. It's the slide deck, but I've put a lot of other things in there to try and help you. I want this to be as helpful as possible so that you can walk out of here and be able to use what I'm talking about today immediately. Now, why does it matter? Well, I've talked about one of them. AI matters for marketing because it is the low hanging fruit for entry level use. So there's no fear here of ethical or professional challenges. You're not opening up your screen in the middle of a mediation session with clients, not knowing what Chat GPT is going to spew out and what sort of effect that might have on your participants. You also are not going to have the issue and worry about putting client confidential information into these or having data issues around these, right? That's not what we use these tools for when we're marketing. The other aspect of it is they are very easily integrated and implemented into your marketing. These AI tools, they support efficiency and creativity. Those are their two big, their superpowers. The two things that they do so well, they are incredibly efficient. They just do everything faster than we could possibly ever do it. And they are incredibly creative. And those are two areas, if you think about it, efficiency and creativity, that also benefit marketing efforts. So AI is perfect for this. Now, why AI for marketing? Most of you out there, I am willing to put money on this. Most of you are solopreneurs. And that is because we know statistically 85% of divorce mediators are solopreneurs, are single, office practitioners. 10% are in small firms, 2 to 5%. And then we also have medium to large firms, 6 plus mediators above that. That's 5%. 85% of us are hanging our own shingle and doing it all ourselves for the most part. And that means we cannot afford, in most cases, the high cost of marketing support. But we ourselves, if we're doing it, we have time constraints because we're everything else in the practice as well. Plus, we're the ones doing the mediations. And frankly, marketing, I don't know about all of you, but in undergrad, in law school, and in the many years that I was a practicing attorney and mediator, nobody taught me how to do marketing. I had to sort of pick it up on my own, what to do, and I didn't have anywhere to go to learn how to market it. So these are reasons why AI is so helpful for us in this particular area. And why? Well, our friends can do everything for us. Everything that you don't even know you need to do to market is something that these can help us with, right? So if you are looking at sort of what I'll call a marketing journey, you're going to walk down this line of what you need to figure out in order to effectively market. So I've listed out sort of the marketing journey in 8 steps here. First step is defining who your target audience is. So marketing is to an audience. It's putting out communication to those who might want to come and hire you. And this is the first place most mediators make a mistake, right? They're not talking to the right people. And if they are talking to them, they're not saying the right things to them. The most important thing that we need to know is who we are talking to when we put out marketing materials. You may be talking to more than one person. Divorce mediators almost always have 2 separate audiences at a bare minimum, right? You have the B2C, the business to consumer. You're the business. The consumer is the people getting divorced, right? They pick up the phone or they go online or they check out an email or they ask a friend and they hire a mediator to help them through it. So you are talking to them to bring them through your door or to bring them in as leads for your business. We also get referrals, right? We get referrals from attorneys, we get referrals from financials, we get referrals from therapists, we get referrals from other mediators. That's B2B. There are other businesses, there are other business people. What you say to them is likely going to be, if not very different, phrased differently. So defining your target audience and the differences between your target audience is really very important. Okay, next, what's your brand identity? What sets you apart, right? What makes you appealing to your target audiences? Then you're going to need to, if you haven't already, build a professional online presence and then constantly keep it up to date. You have to leverage content marketing. Don't know what that is? Guess who does? AI, our friends. Social media. We have to utilize social media platforms. Which ones? What do we post? How often do we post? How do we create the content? Over and over, questions that I hear from people. Guess who knows? AI. We get most important, and I talked about that B2B, right? The network and building referral relationships, your networking, so, so, so important. And AI can help you through every step of that. Some of us may want to try paid advertising, Facebook ads, Google ads, things like that. So we may want to explore paid advertising strategies. And then as we look at the whole plan, we have to monitor it. If we're trying these things, don't we want to know if they're working and what's working better and what's could be adjusted to work better and what we should just let go and what we should try instead are AI tools. And so what I've set out here and what we just walked through is actually a marketing plan, right? It's actually what if you hired ABC marketing for your practice, this is what they'd be walking you through. This is what you'd be paying them to do for you. Trust me, there is not a marketing professional out there today who is not using AI tools because they can be more efficient, meaning they have more time, and they can be more creative, which means they can manage more clients, make more money, and do what they do for even more people, right? So, marketing professionals were one of the first bunch to jump on this train. So, if you're doing your own marketing, have at it. This is what we have it. So, what is this going to look like? And we've been talking about a marketing strategy. Everyone usually wants to start in when I do marketing programs. They always want to start in talking about a very specific action in marketing, like, Susan, what social media should I use? I'm on Instagram, or should I do TikTok? Or I want to do a blog. How often should I blog? Understand that those are all just outreach. That's all just marketing outreach. But what is the plan behind it? I say this in all of my programs where I'm talking about business, whether it's your business plan or your marketing plan. It was Benjamin Franklin who said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. This is why marketing does not often work when we do it ourselves. And it's because we don't start with a plan. Just like if we don't have a business plan, it can be very hard to run a business because we don't know what we're doing. We're just driving down the road and taking any turn without a map. Same thing with your marketing. Your marketing plan is actually a part of a business plan. So we're going to start by building out, and I'm going to take this down and pull up my little buddy Chat GPT, and we're going to do some demos. So this is just a sample prompt that we would start with. And when you sit down after today and you want to get started using one of these tools to create the marketing strategy plan for your practice. And don't worry, if anyone's out there just furiously writing this down, you do not need to do that. The slides are all in the materials, but also there's a long list. It's 4 pages long of all different kinds of sample prompts that use in your practice to help you market. So they're prompts. This is a prompt. The prompt is just the input that you put into the AI tool. I've given you bunches of samples. I'll show them to you in a minute, but we'll start with this one because this is high level strategy. We're going to start with doing our mediation practice strategy. All right. So I'm going to go away from that and I'll just open up. Here we go. Here's my friend Chat GPT. You can use these prompts that I've given you with any of the AI tools. I personally use Chat GPT. It's been around, it was the first one to market. It's kind of like the Zoom situation, right? When we all transitioned to online practice, Zoom was kind of the one that people who were already doing it. I was one of those people. We were already using Zoom. I had tried a bunch of different ones and Zoom worked best. So that's what I told everyone to use. And today, I think, the last survey I saw said that, some inordinate number of 90% of mediators are using Zoom for their virtual mediations. Same thing with Chat GPT for me, at least, but Gemini can also be great. Gemini is Google's version and Google search. It's still the gold standard of searching. Gemini has access to Google search, but as you can see, you can also see that Chat GPT has search. It has deep research. You can attach things to it. So I tend to use Chat GPT. Use the one that you think is most helpful to you. You can see here that I have already put in that prompt that was on the slide. I am a divorce mediator looking to create a comprehensive marketing strategy to attract more clients and grow my practice. Please take on the role of marketing expert. So, context of this question, the role I want it to play, and guide me step by step through the process, asking me questions along the way to refine my approach. Now, right, we are very trained to going to Google, putting in, please find me the top five, blah, 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 or get me this, right? These question answers. That is not what this technology is. So, right from the start, maybe you rewind a little bit and rethink how you do this. What I'm setting up here is an ongoing conversation with my buddy Chatty. I call her Chatty Cathy, but Chatty for short. Everyone I know seems to name these guys. And we're just going to go into a question and answer here. So I'm asking Chatty, telling her who I am. Let's go. Let's see what happens here. All right. So sometimes when I'm online, okay, great choice on wanting to enhance your marketing strategy. And now she's going into, and whoa, Chatty is asking me a lot of questions a little too fast for me. So first thing I'm going to do is, you see, she's still going here. She's at step 4, still asking questions. I want her to go one question at a time. Can you please ask me one question at a time? This is a bit too fast. Whoops. Sorry, human, your little brain doesn't work fast enough. We'll start with understanding your target audience better, right? Now, where did I say it was important to start back before, right? She hasn't seen those slides that I just showed to you, but what did I say the first thing that you needed to know and understand was who your target audience was, right? Guess who else knows that? Your friend Chatty. All right. So we'll start with understanding your target audience better. She's diving right in on question number 1. Who is your ideal client for your divorce mediation services? Can you describe their typical demographics, such as age, gender, socioeconomic status, etc.? I am in San Diego and mostly cater to families with military service. They usually have one enlisted family member and one non working, often children, we'll just say mid level income, and about 30 to 50 years. We're not going to go through the whole plan, but all right. Thanks for sharing that. It's clear you have a well defined niche. Given this, let's consider the unique challenges your clients might face. So, what's it doing, right? I talked about you need to know what the challenges are facing your target audience, what's going to bring them to you. Where's Chatty going? Straight into that. But I didn't have to ask it or already know the answer. ChatGPT is asking me the questions because of the way we set this up. Question: what common challenges or concerns do these families face when they come to you for divorce mediation? Oh, all kinds of things. Military benefits, hard to split, income issues, support, deployments, cause issues with parenting time. Can you help me to create a list of common issues in addition? Right. So I've given it the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. Obviously, if you're doing your niche and you're talking about it, right, you're going to come in with more. But here, it's going to help me expand my list. So let's go, Susan. Jurisdiction issues, pension division, healthcare benefits, survivor benefits, frequently relocations, child custody, and international issues, security clearances, emotional and psychological. Does this sound like it's capturing it? I want to give you all an idea of what we can do here. But you see what we're doing. I'm having a conversation with ChatGPT And we're going to eventually go through all of those issues that we came up with on on that slide, all the things that you need to do to pull together a marketing plan. And Chat GPT is going to come up with that plan after asking us and having this conversation with us. Now, again, if you hired a marketing team, you'd be paying them to do this. Right now, I'm paying $20 a month to Chat GPT, and you don't need to have the paid version, by the way, to get this type of answer. This is, the free version will work just fine. So for free, you can work through this. You be answering these questions anyway, because your marketing people need to know this. The answers are probably within us. And if they aren't, as you just saw here, you can ask the AI tool to help you with the answers. Absolutely. She loves that word. Absolutely. Here's our sample comprehensive marketing plan for divorce mediation services, right? And it's giving us our target audience, what's unique about us, our unique selling proposition, our expertise in military divorce, tailored mediation approach that we customize our mediation services. Some of this, it's inferred or made up, but you would have a more detailed plan that was specific because you would have gone through the answer. But I want to get to some more of what we can do. Remember when I was saying earlier, everyone always wants to jump to talking about social media, talking about referrals, reaching out, being on LinkedIn, local community engagement, their website. People always think that's marketing. Those are just the channels for marketing. Marketing is an entire strategy, but now you have that strategy. Now, what I might say here is we've got a lot of information, but I want an action plan. So please break this down into let's say 6 month action plan, week by week. All right. So now it's detailed, giving me a detailed 6 month action plan for my practice. Whew, got a little breathing room because that was a lot to do if I was going to have to go. I didn't even know where to start. So now it's giving me sort of a foundation and launch, right? So it's starting with the lower hanging fruit, just like this is lower hanging fruit and what you're going to be learning in the 2 days, and moving forward through all of the weeks. We're still going, it's doing this, but we're going to jump in with week one. I'm going to say starting with week one, I would like to spend, let's see, 2 hours per week on effectuating this plan. Please give me action steps to carry the first week. All right. So I'm now looking for really granular stuff. What am I going to be doing so that I can get this done in my foundation and law? I want to refine my unique selling proposition. It's giving me a task. It's giving me the action steps. It's giving me a concise statement. It's telling me it should take about 30 minutes. It's going to help me set up my tracking tools. It's going to help me draft my first blog. All right. So, what I know you all want to know, right? We'll dive into some of the channels in a minute. Going to talk to Chatty and say, all right, I would like to refine my USP by focusing on my specialization in military divorce complexities. Take me through the action steps. Absolutely. Let's walk through it. Step one is going to go do that for me. So, each one of these aspects, if you need help on how to set up your Google Analytics, hey, ChatGPT, I have no idea how to set up my Google Analytics. Can you walk me through it in words of one syllable and make it as easy as possible? Let's jump in on our first blog post. Wants us to start drafting your first blog post on understanding military divorce. So I'm going to just take day 3, do the same thing, and I'm going to copy and paste it and do the same thing. I would like to get working on this post. Please walk me through it. Crafting the blog on understanding military divorce is a fantastic way to engage your audience and establish your expertise. Now it's giving me an outline that I can work with. Now, what I would do is look at this, and it's suggesting an intro where I briefly introduce the topic of military divorce, mention why it's different from civilian divorce, state how you can help, linking to your expertise. So it knows this is a marketing tool and it's putting right in there in the introduction why you're talking about this and how you can help people right from the very beginning. Then you'll walk through the basics of military, the unique challenges in military divorce, how mediation can help, your particular mediation approach. Remember, target audience, how you support them, some of your case studies or success stories, and then a recap and conclusion, always with a call to action. Here it said, encourage readers to contact you for a consultation. So it's saying you want to hook your reader, you want to get their attention. So you need to establish relevance and briefly outline what they'll learn. Divorce is challenging for anyone, but for military families, it brings additional complexities that require specialized understanding. It's a really good opening sentence. Drafting all the different sections, right? It's going to draft that first section, next steps. So now let's just say we've drafted it. And for demo sake, please draft the entire blog article. Right? Now you can do this. I'm just going to point this out to people. Many people are like, well, this is plagiarism. It's not plagiarism because it's not drafting something or giving you something in writing that someone else made up. It's giving you something that it made up by pulling from other data sources. Might there be some sentences in here that it pulled directly from somewhere? There might be, and you can run it through a plagiarism checker just to make sure that you aren't. You can also make sure that those parts that are references from other sources are footnoted and cited to those sources. But let's just talk about, I just want to plant a little seed out there. What you're doing here is creating something to give information and to be a lead, what we call a lead magnet, right? To bring people to you, to let them know what you can do for them, what their issues are. So you give them information, you tell them you understand what their problem is, and you tell them how you can solve it, and they should come to you and you can help them solve it. That's kind of marketing at its basics. So when you're a marketing company, how many people out there, you can go ahead and raise your hands because nobody can see you since we're online, right? But how many people have hired a blog writer or a ghostwriter to do blogs for them? It's not an uncommon thing that you would use something in your marketing materials that someone else drafted. Just don't say that you drafted it, right? That's the difference. When you claim something that was drafted elsewhere as your own, then you're claiming it as if you wrote it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with using, as long as you go through it and make sure that it's correct, that it suits your needs, your voice, and here this is going through it. So we now have the blog. Now that we have the blog, what should I do with it to maximize its effect and to repurpose? That idea is, why do something once and drop it? Do something once and use it as many times as you possibly can. One blog drafted. What else can we do it? Yes, now that you have a well-crafted blog post, I love that it thinks it did a well-crafted blog post, but right, we're going to optimize it for SEO. It can do that for you. We're going to put it on social media. We're going to schedule some posts around it. We're going to get some engaging captions. We're going to get some good hashtags. We'll feature it in our newsletter. Consider sending a special edition of your newsletter focusing on military divorce, featuring this particular blog. You can do some short videos, and it gives you some ideas for doing those. Want to do a webinar or online workshop around it? Do a podcast episode. And if you don't have a pitch it to other podcasts. I have a divorce podcast. I get pitches multiple times a day. I've done the military divorce podcast episode. It was a great podcast episode, but podcasters are always looking for people. If you don't know how to pitch it, guess who knows? Your buddy Chatty Cathy here, Chatty TBT. She can help you create the pitch. You can put it into infographics or other visual content, professional platforms. You can put it out on LinkedIn as an article. You can do a SlideShare presentation. So you took that one article, I'll hone in on social media, and I'll just say, for option 2, please give me 10 different posts and platforms to amplify this blog message, right? So it's now going to go and give me 10 different social media posts across various platforms. Here's one for LinkedIn with a professional post. Here's one for Facebook. It's going to keep giving me more. It will give me 10 different things. You can do Twitter. It still calls it Twitter, not X. Decide for your own selves whether you want to be on X or not. Instagram, Pinterest, a resource pin. These are things you might not have thought of. And even if you did, it's going to come up with it all in less than 60 seconds. Instagram story, LinkedIn discussion post, Facebook live announcement, Twitter interactive poll, and we're back to Instagram for a testimonial, right? So it's helped you pull all that together. We could keep going, right? We could go through every step, but I'm just doing this as an example for you all to show you that every step of the way in your marketing journey, these tools are there to help you. So to summarize, let me go back to the slides. No, actually, I'm going to share with you all, let me just get here, some of what I have put into the materials for you. So when you go to the website, one of the things that I've done for you to make this easy is I've already created the prompts for you because I find a lot of people just their fingers freeze when they get to the keys. So I have already gone through and done that. Here's the one for defining a target audience. And you'll notice it's giving you some examples of what you might insert. You will customize these to your own practice. So we've got your target audience, developing your brand identity, that's your UVP, how to do your website and SEO optimization, content marketing strategy, things like blogs and articles, social media strategy, client engagement and lead generation, right? We are marketing, people forget that's also how we treat our clients when they are our clients. The client experience is part of your marketing journey. So their engagement and how you work with them is a part of your marketing plan, right? So it can help you with every aspect of that. Video and audio marketing, which are the scripts, which is YouTube, which is putting out Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels, LinkedIn Lives, all those things. You can do that through here. I mentioned some of you want to try paid advertising. It can help you build out a campaign. Referral and networking strategy. How can you connect more and provide value to your business contacts, your business referrals? So we have some examples in here. And then I always say this, don't just keep doing what you always do. And I know this may be a lot of new stuff for all of you, but the value long term is doing this, looking at how effective it is, which means you have to track its performance and then adjust. And I can tell you, if you don't know how to do it, you ask your friend ChatGPT or one of your other friends, I want to track. What ways can you suggest that I might track the performance of my blog? What type of return on investment I'm getting on the time I put into social media. It will help you with how to collect those metrics and then help you analyze those metrics and then come up with suggestions for tweaking those outreach efforts to get better metrics. So all of this is in here. So I hope that this has all gotten you excited. And you may be looking at me like, no way, Susan, I'm not at all excited. I hope this has gotten you a little excited to start trying these tools because in the end, you're going to be able to do just like, I know, here's that slide again with all of things that I've been doing lately, but you will be able to put your AI cape on and become a superhero when you embrace these tools, certainly in AI marketing superhero. Susan at susanieguthrie.com is my email. Please do feel free to reach out if there's something that I can help you with. As you can see, I get very excited about this, but I really think that this is a tool that can take all of our practices to the next level. And I, thank you all for being here. And I'm excited for what you all are going to learn over the next 2 days. enjoy it all so very much.